Hi and welcome to my channel. So as you know, 2023 is coming with so many changes, in laws, in rules, and in so many different things generally in the UK. So whether you're already in the UK or you're still planning to move to the UK, obviously you want to be interested in what these changes are. While some of them are still mere speculations, others have already been confirmed. So in this video, I'm going to be focusing on those changes that have already been confirmed that were 100% sure that are going to be implemented this 2023. So, and by the way, before I forget, I have a newsletter, and this January I'm going to be doing a free live session over Zoom, so anybody can join, whether you're already in the UK or you're still planning to move to the UK. You 100% want to register and attend this live session. So I'm going to be talking about why 2023 is the year that you definitely 100% need to move to the UK and how you can move to the UK. So I'm going to be telling you some of the different pathways that are currently available for you to move to the UK. Not only that, most importantly, I'm going to be talking about, career progression pathways if you're already in the UK. As you know, career progression is something that I'm really passionate about. As somebody who moved to the UK as an international student, working as a Band 1 support worker, I have now progressed to an advanced nurse practitioner, which is the most senior clinical nursing position in nursing in the UK. I am really passionate about career progression. So if you're watching this and you're already in the UK, you 100% want to make sure that you check the comment section below. You're going to see a link to my newsletter. You need to join that newsletter, and then I'm going to send you the link, to attend that live session. It's going to be in January, and you 100% don't want to miss it. So just make sure that you also share this with your friends, so that if there's anybody, your friends, family, loved ones, if there's anybody who is keen on moving to the UK or who is already in the UK, they definitely need to attend this session, because the truth is that not only is it challenging to move to the UK, but you're going to find that when you're already in the UK, there are so many different challenges that you may not even be expecting. You may find yourself in a job that you probably don't enjoy. And look, I believe that there's no reason this year why any of us should be in a job that we don't enjoy in a country full of opportunity like the UK. And that's why I'm so passionate about career progression through my private coaching program, which I support, nurses, carers, student nurses, prospective student nurses, prospective UK visa aspirants, to make sure that not only do you get the best job for yourself, but you also get the best career when you're already in the UK. So check the comment section below. You're going to see a link to that newsletter, and do make sure that you join. And I'm going to see you during that live session, where I'm going to be explaining all of this to you, interacting with you, answering some of your questions, and just really explaining to you how I can guide and support you through this journey to achieving your UK career goals in 2023. So obviously, let's get started. So one of these changes that is really going to be very significant for 2023 is, changes regarding nurses who want to move to the UK, midwives who want to move to the UK, or most importantly, people that have moved to the UK, nurses and midwives that have moved to the UK through the carer pathway. Currently, there are thousands of carers working in the UK who are qualified nurses in their home country. Look, I've got nothing at all against working as a carer. Like I said, that's how I started my own journey in the UK before I have now progressed. So we all need to start from somewhere. But the reality of it is that if you're a nurse, you're a midwife, you've struggled and gone through, that training in your home country, you probably have extensive experience. The least you want to do is not work in that position. So some of these changes are going to support you, are going to give you that upper hand, that advantage to be able to transition easily, into nursing or midwifery. So again, that's what the NMC announced. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I just want you to hit subscribe right now. Turn on that notification button, because you want to be the first to be notified when I drop a video here on YouTube. I drop really useful content. You can check my channel for those videos, and I make sure that the questions that people are asking me, that's what I do videos about. Otherwise, it's just no point. And I'm all about implementation. When you're watching these videos, it is not to get the information and sit down and say, oh yeah, somebody's dropped another video. You need to implement. And look, this is where people are struggling with information. It's like there's information overload. Everybody's watching all these videos, asking all this information, but there's very little implementation, because you're probably going to be sat there thinking, oh my goodness, now I have this information, where do I even start? Oh my god, I want to move to the UK so badly in 2023, but Melvis, where do I start? Again, you want to join my newsletter, because I'm going to be guiding you through that journey, explaining to you what are the pathways available, what is the best pathway for your own personal circumstances that you can use. So when it comes to nurses, you know that the biggest barrier that it comes to practicing in the UK as a qualified nurse, despite the high number of vacancies, is the English language test. This is the challenge that many colleagues have faced over the years, and it is so disheartening. But the NMC has decided to make some changes. So these changes are going to be, they've already obviously been agreed, have been implemented. 2023, that's going to be the time where these changes are going to come into force, which is what I'm talking about it right now. So you've got to be ready. What this means is that if you're already in the UK, you can use your employer's reference, to register with the NMC. So does this mean that you're going to be exempted from writing out or OET? No, it doesn't. You still need to write out or OET. But the major difference here is that if you're missing the required score by 0.5 when it comes to IELTS, or, zero point 0.5 when it comes to half a mark, obviously, when it comes to OET, then instead of rewriting, for the second time, or how many other times you've written it, you can simply use your employer's reference. So you can get a reference from your UK employer, give it to the NMC, and the NMC will likely accept that. Obviously, the NMC has said 100% they can't guarantee that, but you just have to make sure that you've got everything else in place that they have said. And what are the requirements for this? So the NMC has said that they're going to do a template. So they're going to do a form that everybody is going to use. And again, if you're not sure what this form is, if you join my newsletter and you're struggling with that, then obviously I can support you. Better still, if you're part of my private coaching program, we're already going through this process, ensuring that you're ready for when implementation actually starts with this. So again, you want to make sure that you're ready. So there's going to be a form that NMC is going to provide that's going to be the same for every single person to use. That's the first thing. The second thing that the NMC has said is that you're supposed to have worked for your UK employer for at least 12 months within the last 2 years, which means that if in the last 2 years you've been working for different employers, they will not be able to accept the reference from any of those employers. You're supposed to have worked with that particular employer for at least 12 months. So that's 1 year, which means that if you moved to the UK 3 months ago, you would not be able to use this particular pathway until you've been for 12 months. But look, as with everything, it's all about negotiation. I'm going to tell you that if you are in the UK working as a carer, you've got to be able to negotiate. You don't even have to be a carer. For you to succeed, excel, and thrive in your career in the UK, you must learn excellent negotiation skills. If there's one thing I've learned from career progression in the UK, is the importance of negotiation. You cannot sit back and say, oh, this my employer is not very good, so if I ask them for a reference, I think they're not going to give me, and then you do nothing. Look, if you do that, you are going to be the loser. You never ever want to be the loser. You want to make sure that you keep on pushing, because you know that is the best thing for you. And by the way, if you're part of my private coaching program, again, you're going to learn these negotiation skills. We're going to teach you how you can negotiate with your employers, making sure you're pushing for your own agenda. You're making sure that you keep on asking and requesting for what you need, for what is going to help you, support you progress in your career, rather than sit back and say they will not accept. Because look, it does not help. Because as far as your employer is concerned, if you're showing up at work, going to work and doing what you're supposed to do, whether you're working in domiciliary care, that's all they care about. So if you give up on your own dreams, on your own goals, because you think your employer is XYZ, look, that's the wrong thing to do. You don't want to do that in the UK, because you're going to get stuck. You're going to be in the same position for your entire career. And look, this is the reason why many people never progress in the UK, because there's that expectation that if you don't want to support me, then I'll do nothing. You don't want to do that. And if you're watching my videos, if you're on this channel, you need to be a go-getter. You need to be a high achiever. You need to keep pushing, keep on negotiating. And like I've said, if you're part of my private coaching program, then obviously these are things that we go through during our weekly live sessions, making sure that you learn those skills. And if you haven't joined my newsletter, by the way, you want to make sure that you join that newsletter, because I'm going to be sharing some really useful tips and information to you through that newsletter. So that's one of the things. You need to be able to negotiate with your current employer and say, look, I need to join the NMC as a nurse or a midwife. Can you sign this reference for me? You need to keep on pushing, because the truth is that many employers will not want to do this because they don't want to lose you. You know what I mean? So it's for your own interest to keep on pushing. If you give up and leave them alone, then look, you're the only person that's going to lose. And like I say, if you're watching my videos, you better be a high achiever, because otherwise I'm not going to be happy. I'm just wasting my time doing all these videos, which is not a good thing for me, because these videos take a lot of time, stress, and hassle to actually get to record them. So that's what I'm telling you. So again, leave a comment in the comment section and say, Melvis, I will implement. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section. Join the newsletter, because again, I'm going to be doing this live session where I'll walk you through what some of these things are and how you can actually go about asking for what you want, because it can be very, very challenging. Especially if you come from overseas and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm on a visa sponsorship. What if they revoke my visa? What if they cancel the visa? What can I do? Look, there is always a solution. You don't need to be scared. You need to just be polite. You need to be kind. You need to be sweet when you're requesting for these things, and make sure that you're using the right words, the right terminology, in order not to appear to be too pushy or too rude. That's what I'm saying. There is always a way out. So that's one of the things. And also, the NMC has said that you've got to be working in health and social care. So if you're in the UK and you're a qualified nurse or midwife from overseas, and you're working, say, in sales, or you're working in, IT, you would not be able to use your employer's reference. You've got to be working in health and social care. So health and social care means that you should work in a domiciliary care, you should work in a nursing home, residential home, the NHS hospital. It doesn't matter whether it's private or whether it's public, but the main thing is that you should be working in health and social care. Very important. Another requirement that the NMC has said is also that you're going to need not only one signature for your reference, you're going to need two signatures. So the first signature has to be from an NMC registrant. So it's got to be a nurse or midwife that is currently on the NMC register. What this means is that if you're working in an area that doesn't have nurses or midwives, I don't know how you're going to go about this, but the NMC says that it's got to be somebody who is on their register. And look, knowing the NMC, they're 100% going to be checking out those names that are signing those reference forms, making sure that those people are registered. So you want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence to research, make sure that those people that you're asking for references for are eligible to actually give you a reference and are on the NMC register. That's the first person who's going to sign the form, because two people would need to sign that form. The second person signing has to be a senior nurse or midwife. So again, not only do you need a nurse or midwife to sign the form for you, but you also need a senior nurse or midwife. One thing I'm going to say is that a senior nurse obviously could mean anything, but what this means is that it doesn't have to be somebody who is band 5, obviously. The NMC hasn't actually specified what band the person should be, but I've categorically said it's got to be a senior nurse. So again, one of the challenges that I can see with this is carers that are working in domiciliary care. Many domiciliary care agencies or companies don't have nurses, and they don't have to have nurses for it to run, because you don't have to be a healthcare professional to own an agency. So I can see this being a very big challenge. But again, I'm going to be finding the solutions for these. I've written to the NMC. I'm kind of waiting for a response back, and I'll make sure that if you're part of my private coaching program, obviously, I'm going to be giving you that feedback, as I get more information on this, and the least updates that the NMC makes, or any information that I find through my private contacts and communication, I'll make sure that I bring this information straight away to you. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you do want to hit subscribe, turn on that notification button. If you are enjoying this content, I want you to like the video, because it just lets me know that you're enjoying content like this and I should do more of it, which is the whole point of me recording all these videos. So again, these are the requirements that you need to have. You need to make sure you 100% have all these requirements, because the NMC, as you know, they're not very flexible when they say that this is what they want. When they say this is what they want, that is what they want. So you don't need to be timid. If you're in the UK as a carer, this is the time for you to be outspoken. This is the time for you to be courageous. This is the time for you to gain your confidence and stand up and make sure that you get these references, because I can tell you that it is not going to be an easy journey, an easy task getting these references from UK employers, because they would not want to lose you. They would rather keep you working as a carer than let you grow and thrive as a qualified nurse or as a midwife that you rightfully are. So this is the challenge that people are going to have. But like I said, there's always a way out. You must be able to negotiate, and do not give up. Then, if you're still out of the UK, there's also something in it for you. So obviously, clubbing of results previously could only be done, within 6 months. So you had to redo the test within 6 months to be able to club the results for it to be accepted. The NMC has extended the time to 12 months, which is very good news. But unfortunately, they haven't obviously reduced the required scores. So you still need to have at least 7 overall score, 7 in all the other sections, like it's always been the case. So this is the main change. Thank you so much. Make sure that you join the newsletter. Keep watching the videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.